So how many among you have done meditation before? Higher? The hands, yeah. Okay, so we're full of meditators. This is quite nice. I commend you. This is a little too loud. Can you turn it down? I commend you for taking the time in this age where people are overtly and how do you say, unabashedly materialistic, where everything is about shopping and getting the stuff and getting quick enjoyment. Just, what can I get as fast as possible that gives me the most pleasure? To take the time out and try to figure out, wait, there's no real ultimate happiness in any of that stuff. Because it is a fact. I mean, I'm the oldest one here, so I can speak with authority about this. Eventually, we're all gonna die. I may die before all of you, but because I have quite a nice lifestyle and good diet, you may die before I do. You never know. Our spiritual mentor was asked by a young reporter. He was in his 70s already. What are you gonna do, now that you're soon gonna die? He said, how do you know I'm gonna die before you? So the reporter was shocked. Wait, I'm 23 and you're 75, so it's obvious you know. So you don't know. We actually don't know when death is gonna strike. And what is death? What is death? For a materialist, and a materialist, I'm not talking about someone who wants the next gadget, the latest thing. Someone who actually takes the body to be the self. That's a materialist. If you think you're the body, then I have news for you. You are a materialist. You may not know that, but you are. Because we are not material. We're not material. We're never satisfied with things like cement and glass and wood and the things of this world that come in different shapes, but they boil down to some sort of molecules. We have a few scientists here to actually prove that. We are actually non-material. We're actually spiritual. And spirit doesn't satisfy easily with some quick turnaround thing. So another thing I would like to commend you is, and you could be just getting drunk or getting stoned right now somewhere else, and you didn't. You actually chose to come here and hear an old guy talking about meditation, and also hear and practice kirtan. Kirtan is the method to free you from anxiety, and this is one of the topics I wanted to talk about, because right now we are serving lunches at USC, and I can see that there is a common denominator for everybody who comes. It's finals week, so everybody's in anxiety, and usually anxiety is hidden by some kind of this, that, whatever, meeting friends and enjoying the food and all that. But right now, everybody's in anxiety. And imagine they're at the peak of their intellectual powers, physical powers, mental powers, and they are suffering already. So imagine your future. This is just one small exam given by some professor who doesn't really care about you. And he knows the answer of what he's asking anyway. So it's not you're just presenting something completely new and incredible. Oh, wow, how do you figure that out? Yeah, well, it was in the book that you wrote. So this anxiety that is so permeating and pervasive and obnoxious, is a characteristic of the material world. In Sanskrit, there is a word called kunta. Kunta means anxiety, stress. And Vaikuntha is actually the name of a spiritual realm. No anxiety. So if you actually think that you have achieved spiritual oneness or enlightenment or samadhi, and you're in anxiety, well, I have more news for you. No, you haven't. Because at the moment that you reach the spiritual level, anxiety ceases to exist. That's the difference. And it's not that you don't see the misery surrounding it. This is not some kind of ostrich philosophy. The ostrich when there is danger, just buries the head in the sand, and there is nothing wrong. I'm fine now. Or the rabbit. I think the rabbit closes his eyes. I mean, I heard that, but why do they use, some cruel people use rabbits on tests on cosmetics, corrosive cosmetics on their eyes because they can't blink. So I think one of the two is wrong. Either one is true or the other one is. So we are not trying to avoid problems. And when you're on the spiritual platform, you see what's wrong, but you're not part of it. It's like, for example, you hear or you see news where there is some catastrophic event due to natural occurrence, such as earthquake or flood, flood is a little too close because it happened in California, and earthquake too. So let's choose something non-local. Fires too. I can't really think of much. Hurricanes. There you go. Okay, or tornadoes. Oklahoma. That tornado valley. So you see someone. A tornado goes through a little town and blows everything up, and you feel bad, but from a distance, because it really hasn't affected you, hasn't affected your friends, hasn't affected your family, hasn't affected your living conditions or your way to earn money. It's just something distant. So for a spiritualist, and this is just an analogy is something to prove a point by presenting something, a simile that will resonate. So don't take the analogy and try to dissect it and see the fallacies, because an analogy is just to prove something else without being exactly the same. You actually see the misery, but you're not suffering from it. You see people are, they have a heat wave somewhere. And I experienced actually heat waves. I was once in Italy, and then went to Greece, and there was a heat wave that killed 100 people in a day. And it was so hot. And you feel for these people, but it hasn't happened to you. So on the spiritual platform, you experience the bliss, you experience the ecstasy, and you see what surrounds you, but without really affecting you, because you know that we're not the body. And the body, as is born, is destined to decay, to get old, to have some kind of an illness, or many, and to die. The body is like a loan. It's like a lease. You lease a car, and it's not forever. You have to pay the monthly fees, and then you have to return it when it's no longer viable. So the body is a lease. It's just like having an apartment. You rent an apartment, but let's say somebody lends you an apartment for a week. You really spend time decorating, buying furniture, painting, changing things. No, you have it for a week. Dude, wake up. In a week, you're giving the key away to someone else. So this body, you have it. It's a lease. Okay, it's not a week. It's a little longer than that. But don't waste all your time trying to make it look better. It will never be happy anyway. It will your hairdo looks good today, tomorrow it's a disaster, and next week you just want to kill yourself because your hair, doesn't stay the way you like it. So anything you try to do, the body will actually not cooperate. Get older, you will. I remember when I was, in my teens and 20s, I used to play sports a lot, like literally 30 hours a week I was playing sports. And nowadays, I reach for a sweater in the back seat of my car and my bag is out for a week. So this is the trade-off. Now wisdom comes and body goes, somehow or other. Wisdom should come because experience counts for something. There are three types of people. Those who learn by other people's experience. That's why you're listening right now, and hopefully you're picking up some good tips to carry on with your life without having to experience too many of the ups and downs. The second class, they will have to experience it themselves. You want to experience everything, every single detail, every single bump on the road, you want to own it. And then the third class of people, they never learn. So please don't be third class, at least be second class. If you want to experience life without any input, without anybody telling you anything, having to go through everything, it's better to actually hear. And this is how the process of meditation begins. Hearing. Like we were experiencing kirtan done by Shamapriya, quite nice, a little loud for me, but I'm old, so it doesn't matter. And you could hear quite well, actually. And then once you hear, you can repeat it or chant it. You have to put your heart into it. It's not a mental exercise. It's not an intellectual kind of puzzle. It's actually a question of the heart. The heart will be connected with the ear, and a mantra, which is a transcendental sound, will go directly to the heart if you allow it to do that. And then you can bring it out from the heart. So meditation means you remove all the obstacles that are impeding you from seeing yourself and the world and what's beyond. This is meditation. See by the number of hands that have been raised that most of you have tried meditation or even probably do it regularly. But if you meditate on a candle or meditate on silence, there is no such thing. Because silence, your mind will continue to talk. You can close your eyes, you can be in a deprivation chamber. Once my wife and I got tickets to go to a spa where there was basically looks like a giant egg that closes up and is full of warm water with Epsom salt. And once it closes, you just can't hear anything, can't see anything. But guess what? The mind was there. It didn't go away. And the mind will continue to chatter. You want this? I don't like this, and I don't like that person. What about that? What about this person? What about what they did to you 25 years ago? How dare he take the yo-yo from me? So this is the problem. Meditation has to involve the mind, has to involve the senses, has to bring everything back to the self. And because the mind is always just making noises and telling you what to do or what not to do, mind has only, the business of a mind is to hanker for things that you don't have and lament for things that you have lost. So it's a bad deal, really. You're always wanting something that you don't have at the moment, and you're always lamenting something you've lost, whether it be your childhood, whether it be a particular friend that you were very fond of, or whether you live in a place but it's a mess, it's a dump, and you want a better place, or whether you drive a little car and you want a better one, or whether you have a wife and you want three more, just to check it out, see if anyone works out, or definitely husbands. So this is actually the function of the mind. It's always hankering and lamenting, so it's very difficult to quiet the mind. The mind is constantly beeping and making sound. It's like having a convention of leaf blowers right next door to you. It's really bad, making a lot of noise, and you have to quiet it. And you can try. You can say, shut up, and try to concentrate and meditate, but it won't happen. It won't happen. Why? Because you have to put something more powerful that quiets it down. Just like if you have a car and it's empty, it will fill up with things. Maybe fill up with dirt and insects and twigs and stuff like that. So you have to have it full in order to avoid filling up with other stuff, something heavy. So the mind is full with material thoughts and all kinds of things that are related not to your real life, but to the life that you identify with, which is, I am young, I am old, I'm Mexican, I'm American, I'm Japanese, I'm black, I'm white, I'm male, I'm female, I'm American, or whatever you think you are. You're not. You're really not. That's a designation for your body. That's the kind of car that you drive. That's it. All the other attributes are just a vehicle that the self is carrying. So you have to actually go deeper than that. So the mantra, the process of mantra meditation, is to get through all these misidentifications right to the core of it. Who are you? And it's not an imposition. It's not like something you're going to discover something completely new that, oh, this is amazing. Is actually who you really are, and you can remember. Just like someone has amnesia. Amnesia is a characteristic that makes people forget important things, like who they are, where do they live, family, all kinds of things. So we have spiritual amnesia. Right now, we only remember things related to this body, and we don't remember things related to who we are, the person, the Atma, the soul. So meditation is what will get you back to where you need to be. Just like if you have a mirror, and the mirror is covered with dust and dirt and grime, and you try to, okay, well, maybe I should try different clothes. Maybe I should try different lighting. Maybe I should try, from the side, this profile, the other side. It doesn't work. You have to clean the mirror. You have to get down and dirty and clean it up. So the mind is like a mirror that got dirty due to misidentification with the material world and the ingredients that surround it. So the mantra is this powerful cleanser. It's like Ajax, and a sponge. You just get down and dirty. So in mantra meditation, when you start to feel something is moving. But this is like when you, it's like dirt. The first thing you see is like you're washing pots, and then you can see like this stuff coming out. And you can just give it a quickie and not worry too much. But then when next time you cook, there are some sediments and there's some particles that have been stuck to the bottom of the pan. And when you cook, it will burn. And then it will be very difficult to remove. So you have to really, really work on your cleansing the mind in order to see who you are. So get past the, I feel good, it doesn't feel right, or it's not for me, or I wasn't born to do this, or whatever you think, whatever your mind is trying to dissuade you from doing, and try it, but try it seriously. That's why the topic is that the mantra. This should be a subtopic, because the topic is that the mantra, the chanting and meditating, is not a hobby. It's not a hobby. It's everybody's full-time job. Everything else that you do that's a hobby. But meditation is not a hobby. That's your job. That's what you have to do. You have to really get to the point that you remember who you really are. And there is where happiness resides. Not before that. Real happiness is to understand who you really are. And then you know what to do. Just like, for example, and I give this example often because I find it quite good. Let's say you wake up one day and you're holding a tennis racket. At a tennis court, you're lying on the tennis court with a racket, and you have the wristband and the headband, and you have the white shirt and the white pants and the socks and the sneakers, and there's a guy on the other side waiting for you to serve. You have a ball on one hand. Would you actually get up and serve, or would you try to figure out what happened? I went to sleep in my bed last night, and here I am. How did this happen? What happened? So you may say, if the guy gets up and serves and plays tennis, and people clap and everybody's drinking pina coladas and people are waving and taking selfies and all that, it's very irresponsible. It's irresponsible. You actually have to figure out, how did I get there? How did I get here? What happened? What did I miss? So do not accept the fact that you're now in a particular body, bound to a particular family by blood, and living in some country, and you have skills and limitations and desires and all these kind of things, and you're naturally a good musician or naturally a good, I don't know, whatever you are, and or you can do certain things, and it's just accepted. Oh, well, that's the way it is. Try to figure out how did this happen? Why was I born in a particular family, milieu? Who are these people? How are we really related? Why wasn't I born in a refugee camp in the middle of a bombing spree? Why wasn't I born in a rich family where I don't have to worry about anything material? Why wasn't I born a woman? Or why wasn't I born a man? Or why wasn't I born this or that? You have to figure out why I'm in this condition. So this is actually called karma. Karma means you get what you put on. You put a certain effort and you get a certain reward or punishment, because you may do something wrong and you think, oh, I got away with it. But no, karma will come back and bite you. You know where. So this is the law of karma. So now you're trapped in a certain situation with a certain mentality or a certain baggage that you're carrying with you, and now you have to deal with it. And you may try to solve it, but you will have a very hard time, because you can't. It's like trying to do an intervention on yourself. You're too close to do that. You're too close. It has to be someone who cares for you, but it's not you. So right now, the way to get out of this is to transcend. And meditation will carry you to transcendence, where you actually can see things from above. Just like if you're trapped in a certain place, and you see, you're in some canyon, and you don't see how to get out of this place. If you are flying above it, then you can see, I could go that way, could go this way. But so you have to rise above yourself. And that's what meditation is for. Cleanse your heart, rise above circumstances, and become happy just by being yourself. Okay, this is quite a mouthful and a handful. And I would like to, if you're thoughtful people, which I hope you are, I would like to get some questions, just a few, and just have 5 minutes, and then we'll get into some more kirtan. I want to explain one more thing, that form of meditation for this particular age, where everybody's more or less a moron. I count myself, and I look at the president we shall be elected. Come on, that's a telltale sign that we are morons. So this is a way to wake up wake up to the real you, to the real world, to what really goes on. So let's, you had a question?
Yeah, just so I want to ask about the attachment. Our attachment with family members and kids are so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when they disappoint us, we get kind of upset and lose our self. Especially with the kids and kids' future.
Well, I'm not advocating that you live with kids or just drop them off or tell them to jump off your car when you slow down to 35 miles an hour and never to see them again. I think your karma takes you to a particular set of circumstances where you are actually responsible for others. So you have to take care of it. And under that umbrella, then you have to practice your self-realization. And that's why meditation is so good, because at least this kind of meditation, kirtan, is something you can carry with you and do it anywhere, no matter what circumstances you have it. Whether you're in the middle of a forest by yourself in a paradise island in South Pacific, or dressed as a soldier in a war. You can always do it. While you're doing something else, you can always do the meditation, do the kirtan. Hear and chant. So, yeah, your baggage is different from mine, but not really. I mean, we both have to take care of what we have and do the best we can. And attachment. Attachment means you believe that something belongs to you. So that's the wrong premise to begin with. And the difference between being sane and being crazy is that crazy people begin from a premise that is mistaken. So if you, therefore, even if the process is correct, they arrive to the wrong conclusion because the premise is wrong. So if you believe that this family belongs to me, belongs to you, that is wrong. These people are souls. They have an intersection with you that is like two waves hitting against each other and forming some foam. That's a family right there. And the foam will dissipate eventually when the waves separate. So, of course, you can be too philosophical during Christmas time, at the family dinner table, but you can actually at least understand that you are an individual soul and you have something in common, but you're an individual. Actually, you're eternally an individual. You don't become someone else, or you don't merge into one thing. And we are all related, but that ends there. It's not like you are someone else, or you will become someone else. You're always yourself, and you are always growing. You're always trying to perfect your situation until you become enlightened, until you see things how they are. So attachment, I can say, well, I renounce the vault at the Bank of America in Culver City. It has no meaning. It doesn't belong to me. I can renounce all sort of things that they don't belong to me. So I renounce my family, I renounce this, but they don't belong to you. They're there for you to take care of them, but they're not who you are. But they're part of the path that you have taken by your own karma. You can't blame someone else for your situation. You created it. You may not remember it, but you created it. Yeah. But anyway, meditation will save you from all this.
Yes. Thank you so much for that beautiful talk. It raises a lot of awareness on anxiety and seeking the true self. I wanted to ask, how long did it take you to find spiritual liberation? And when you do, what does it mean in your human form? How do you bridge the gap between liberation and how do you fuse it with your human experience?
How long did it take you to achieve liberation? I haven't. I'm still trying. You become a student, right? You don't become a professional student. I mean, you become a student and you keep trying and you will fail, just like a child that is learning how to walk. They will fall a few times and eventually will get it, or riding a bike or whatever it is. So it's a very long process, although in the spectrum of spiritual time, which is absent. And time exists in a different way. Now, right now, we take time to be hours and months and years and so on. So to us, 80 years is a long time. It's an enormous amount of time. But in the space of eternity, it doesn't mean anything. It's very, very small. It's like a dream. You may be dreaming, an incredible dream, very elaborate, very detailed, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you realize that only 12 minutes have passed. And to you, it's like a whole lifetime. So when you wake up to spiritual life, all this material nightmare appears like a very small, like fragmentary part of your sleep, and you don't bother with it. You don't try to overanalyze it and find the psychology of how did it happen? How did I wake up? When I woke up? It's just not important at that point. When you're happy, all the things that seem to make you unhappy go away anyway. It's an automatic thing. There was another question, someone. Yeah, maybe.
So who you are isn't like what you look like, and what you do, and like not necessarily even like what you value right now. Like, how can you explain who you are to someone else?
Who is this person you're trying to explain it to?
Just like when someone asks you like who you are, or like who are you?
I'm a spiritual soul, just like you are. Just except that we are different. We're individuals. You see, it's like a bunch of kittens. They all look the same, but they're different. So how do you explain who you are? First, you have to figure out who you are in order to explain. And then comes automatically. Just like if you have the flu, right, and you have a bunch of symptoms, painful joints and headache, and fever and runny nose and really tired and all that stuff. And you can explain that to someone, what the symptoms of the flu is. But when you're really healthy, all that goes away. So it really doesn't make any difference. You don't have to explain, well, my joints don't hurt. I don't have temperature. I don't have Kleenex around the house, etc. It just happens. It just happens. And the process given to us, but by the sages, because this stuff has been written down and tested by thousands of years, by billions of people, and it works. They've done the homework for us. So you don't have to just rewrite it or rediscover the wheel. You just apply the process, and if it's good, it will work. If it's not good, it won't work. We can try forever. But mantra has the power of sound vibration. And mantra comes from a different realm. Because you can see around the world, kirtan is quite popular nowadays, not only in California, because we travel all over the world, and it's very popular. And it's been popular for thousands of years. It's just people have tried different stuff and it doesn't work, and but mantra stays. You see, if you chant a sound vibration that is not a mantra, it's a mundane thing, a mundane love song, or a brand of some product, Samsung. You can chant Samsung all day long, and you won't get a buzz. I promise. And it won't last all day long either.
You might get a sponsorship, though.
Yeah, that's cool. Interestingly enough, we were in Budapest a few years ago, and at the headquarters of Samsung in Budapest, now there is an ashram where people do kirtan. So there you have it. So it's making progress in that way. So I will finish here, but this is what I want you to do. Now that you had the experience of mantra before, why is this mantra so important? There are so many mantras. There are thousands of mantras. The Vedic literature of the ancient India is full of mantras. Thousands and thousands and thousands of mantras. Why is this mantra so important? Because this is the essence of all mantras. These three words, Hare Krishna Rama. This is the essence of all mantras. Brahma means the source of pleasure. Because everybody's looking for pleasure. The pleasure is found at the source. Don't settle for a middleman who just want to get a commission out of you. This is, go to the source, chant the mantras, and don't, if you start seeing pink elephants crawling up the walls, just wait a little longer, it will go away. And eventually the effect of the mantra will act, which is that your heart will become purified and you will be naturally happy and content by seeing your real self developing again. Waking up, just like falling in the mud and then getting up and getting a bath. As the water runs through your body, then you can see how you're cleansing up from all these impurities. Now the impurities are lust, let me know we're done. So the impurities are lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, pride, jealousy, all these things that are actually always lingering around. Envy, malice. All these things are always trying to create a bubbling within the heart as they're cooking up. And the mantra will cook them up. So don't expect that they will just wave goodbye and disappear. They will bubble up, they will face you face to face, and now you have to deal with them. Now you can see them. Now you can see who your enemy is and how to get rid of them. So keep chanting and all these impurities will go away. And they will stay away. Promise, your money back. All right, so ready to chant?
Yeah.
Yeah?